I told y'all after I did that this is the way I was raised video, that if you guys really liked it that I would do a second part to it. So out of my schedule, I finally found time to sit down and do it. Well, stand up and do it. So what I was saying in that video, which I will leave a link to that video down in the description below in case you haven't watched it yet. You should watch it so you could get the gist of where this video is going, but you don't have to. It's still along the same lines. The kids today in this generation, not even just the kids, the people today in this generation, both young adults, my age, and teenagers, and kids, adolescents, preteens, all that, y'all crazy as fuck. Back then, if you wanted nice things, you worked for it. What the fuck is this cussing your parents out and hitting on them and getting away with it and not suffering any consequences? Y'all on crack. I'm telling y'all, man, if I would have raised my hand to my mother and actually tried to whoop on her, or my father, I wouldn't be standing before you today. As I've said before, and I'm not going to keep saying it because you guys who've been messing with me for a while should know, I don't plan to have kids. I don't want to have kids. Maybe it's just because of the age I am. I want to get myself together first before I even contemplate having children. But I don't want children. But again, that could change the older that I get. But I'm telling you right now, if I did have kids, I'm going to raise them the way that my mother raised me, because my mother raised me right. Wasn't no games, wasn't no bullshit, wasn't no you scratch my back, I scratch yours. You're going to do what I say. You're going to make those good grades in school. You're going to stay out of trouble. And if that goes good, I'll see what I can do for you. But I'm not going to spoil you to try to get you to do good when you should be doing it from the jump. You kids today are only 8 years old. Already got iPhones and Androids. Already got tablets. Already got fucking hoverboards and all that shit. Like, what? Now, I understand that things like that were not around back when I was younger. About, what, 15, damn near 20 years ago? Because I'm only 24 now. But you have to understand that we could still get our hands on certain things back then. Back then, what y'all have now with the tablets and the hoverboards, we got in new bikes, video games, all of that. We would not get that. The real parents would not give that to their children back then unless you worked for it. The way the parents nowadays reward their children is bass backwards. Shout out to Tech 9. I'm not going to try to bargain with you and bribe you with nice electronics, nice clothes, nice shoes, and all that just to make you act appropriate in your age and do good in school. Now, granted, my kids are going to have decent clothes. I'm not saying I'm going to send you to school or send you out wherever looking a hot-ass mess. But I'm not going to spoil you in the least. I'm an only child, so I was spoiled to a certain degree, but not to the degree that y'all are nowadays. Like I said in my first video, I did not see my first cell phone until like age 17 or 18. Elementary was okay, middle school was alright, but once I got into the high school, you know, became a junior and a senior, things got kind of crazy for me. I started playing too much. I started getting into a lot of stuff. I mean, I never did drugs or anything like that. It's just I had a lot of altercations. And high school just wasn't what it should have been for me, which a lot of it is my fault. Running off at the mouth, being so talkative, not paying attention like I should. But I still got a degree to show for it, so I know I have intelligence to a certain extent. But I could have did a lot better had I not been bullshit. But to a certain extent, I am proud of who I am nowadays. Of course, I always look back and wish I could have did some things different. But at least I'm still alive. At least I have a roof over my head. And at least I'm making something out of my life. Or at least trying to. One thing I've never understood is how do you treat your child like a friend? A roommate? No, fam. You are my child. Or y'all are my children. When you help me pay a light bill or a water bill and we going half and half, then we can be friends and roommates. Shout out to Medea. But until then, fam, you are my child. Y'all are my children. You're going to do what I tell y'all to do because I know what's best for you. I want you to do better than I did. But in order to do better than I did, I want you to work so you can do better than I did. I don't want it to be given to you on a silver platter, because that's not how it was given to me. Parents need to stop babying their children, especially when they become grown. Y'all are not always going to be around. Children, y'all are always not gonna have, I said that's so fucked up. Y'all are not always gonna have y'all parents around. So y'all need to learn what it means to be independent and how to do for yourself right now, because your parent could be gone tomorrow, the next hour, the next 30 minutes, the next 5 minutes. You never know. You need to take that opportunity right now when you become a young adult around my age. But you need to start young. You need to start doing independence at like, what, 16, 17, right before you hit legal adulthood? Like, man, come on now. When I get my first apartment, which will be very, very soon, and I will let you guys know when that does happen. Like I said in my anti-social video, I'm not going to be showing everybody where I live, but, you know, I may show the apartment a little bit, you know. But my whole thing is, my mother, who was a single mother until my stepfather showed up, which, shout out to you. Both of them, they show me what it's like to be independent. And I really think it's important because, like I said, they're not always going to be around. And I would hate to be one of the many kids, one of the many young adults in this world, when my parents finally do leave this earth, which God forbid is anytime soon. I want them to live at least another 50 years. But God forbid, when they do pass, I not know how to take care of myself or how to do for myself, how to hold down a fucking job because my parents aren't there holding my fucking hand. I do not want that. I want to be able to stand on my own 10 toes and do for myself because they taught me how to, because that's what you should want for your kids. You should want your children to be able to work and get their own. Stop putting money in their hand. Stop doing for them. You have to let them grow up. You are not going to get anywhere if you keep babying them, especially when they become adults, and you're going to keep getting used and stepped on. And kids, young adults, man, what is y'all doing? What is it about having a shoulder to lean on that has just got y'all just sprung on that shit? It's nice to have a crutch when things get tough, because life gets tough for everybody. But my thing is, when that crutch has fallen over, what do you have to lean on? You don't have common sense or knowledge to hold your own because you've had your hand held ever since you were a child. Like I said, if I ever have kids, I'm not going to baby my children, but they're going to know how to make it on their own because I'm not always going to be here. And I want more for them. I want them to do better than I did. And I want them to make that better life for themselves by their own account and not by mine. I think that's about it for this one. There are some other points I can, bring up, but I might do that in a part 3. So, y'all let me know if you like part 1, if you like this part 2. I would definitely do a part 3 because there's some deeper things that I really want to get into, but the video is already dragging on, so I don't want to go for too much longer. So, I hope anything I've said has helped people my age. Like I said, I'm 24, lower 20s to mid 20s, 18 to, around that area, man. Be independent. Get your own. Stop having your hand out, man. Do for yourself. Be your own boss. Peace.